Hello. Guten Nick. Megatort. Hello Sparky. Hello Stefan from Germany. Are you guys still there or you guys are gone? Tonight is so weird because I kept dropping out. So it seems like the our connection is good now. So hopefully it'll stay that way. I'm gonna stay, yeah, for another hour or so. So I hope the rest of the guys will come in from the previous one. Mm. Oh, good. How you guys doing? Good. Oh, sorry. Darren, how are you getting along with the Fox Fender Deluxe? I love it. I love it. This is the Tone Master, so it's not a Fox. Yeah, yeah. In a way, it's not tube. Yeah, so it does what it does for me. What you're hearing now is from there, from the speakers, basically. So this is what I do when I do my videos. I have it all like connected out. There's a sort of a cap sim out from this Tone Master, so it works very well for me in conjunction with my plugins with my Line 6 Helix native. But as an amp by itself, it sounds awesome, and there's nothing much I need to do. And anything that I activated here, like my booster or whatever, it just further enhances the sound. So as an amp by itself, it just sounds really great. I love it. Red Skin, thank you. Do I give lessons? Yes, I do when I'm not touring. Unfortunately, I'm on a tour right now, so I probably would be able to start giving lessons maybe next year, come next year or so. Yeah. Sparky, you're from Canada. We're supposed to go up to Canada actually, for a show in Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Vancouver? Yeah. Or was it Toronto? I forgot. But somehow it didn't pan out. So yeah, I'm still waiting for it's still early. I guess it's like July. Yeah. Oh, you. Okay. So I influenced you. How you liking it? You like it? It takes a while for the what you call that the chat to go through. I guess still apparently my stream current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Wow. 6800 kps. So how do I change this? How do I change this? I can't change this. Okay. The bitrate is 6800 kps. Okay. Let's see what I can do over here. What can I do over here? Where's my setting? Do I see any setting? Stream rate? No, apparently not. Anyway, Saw some Tylers at the Wild West Guitars in Pasadena, California. I had to try one. They're not cheap. Yes, they are not cheap, but you should definitely try one because you need that. You need that experience. Trust me. Yeah, when I can't change it when I'm live. Crap. All right. Okay, next time then. 6800. Okay, we'll try that next time. The James Tyler guitars are like a, how should I call it? It's it was an advice that I didn't take when my godson Wayne gave me that advice a couple of years ago. I think it's more like 8 years ago, when he told me, Uncle John, you should just get yourself a James Tyler and can sell off all the other guitars. I go like, what are you talking about? And nobody was actively bringing in James Tyler at the time, so I didn't have a chance to try one. So I didn't know what I was talking about until I finally tried one, and I bought one, which is the last guitar I played, and I totally fell in love with the I don't know. It's sometimes a guitar. Well, not sometimes. Very seldom do a guitar build and sound and playability attracts me so much as the James Tyler guitars, because the first time that I played on a James Tyler guitar was that one that I owned, and that was the first James Tyler, and it's Japanese made. It's not even the original factory in the States, so in LA, so, and it was so good, and I just fell in love with the guitar, and henceforth I bought it. It was used. I didn't mind the scuffles and marks on the finish of the guitar, because it can easily be buffed up. But I just love the playability of the neck, the sound I'm hearing, and that was the time when I actually fell in love with the James Tyler guitars. And henceforth, I've been like playing with a whole lot of James Tyler guitars, like the Tallys, the Mongoose, the Burning Waters, the Studio Elite, the Studio, all sorts of configuration, and every one of them did not disappoint me at all. Especially the Mongoose. The Mongoose is like another. It's like it's a quasi kind of a hybrid, where you have a Les Paul kind of a body with a strat neck, but it works. It just works. It has that mojo in it, which I totally am in love with it. But it's just not my kind of guitar that I would take on a tour. Probably for recording, yes, but I do a lot less recording than I did back in the day, so it doesn't really make sense. Yes, I'm touring one electric, and the one electric that I'm touring with is my custom Xu guitar, which I feature a lot on social media. If you want to like keep in touch with me on what I'm doing on my tour, then join my Facebook or join my Instagram. My Facebook and Instagram is the same kind of name. John is just too loud, right? So you can always search for it, or Jonathan Cole if you want to. Yeah, you need 2 or 3 even at clubs. Yeah. I used to like bring 2 guitars, electric and acoustic. I don't do that anymore. Like I don't do club gigs these days. I do a whole lot of concerts. So the concerts that I do, or I was dealing with, were all like big concerts, like arenas, and sometimes 60,000 people. At one time, I played on an arena for 75,000 people, which is like mind-boggling. This was a couple of years back. But in any case, we used to have like big bands, like 2 guitarists, sometimes 3, but mostly 2 keyboard players, sometimes a string section. So it's a big setup, and I don't have to carry a whole lot of electric guitar changes. So one electric guitar would suffice for me. This current tour that I'm in is really simple, because it's a nice concert to do, because there's not much songs as compared to the other concerts that I used to do, like 30 over songs for concert. It's ridiculous. This time around we're doing less than that, and songs that I kind of like am in love with, because I tour with my good dear brother Eric Moo. So there's a whole lot of nice stuff, guitar stuff going. So I love it. I love touring. for him. And this time I'm just using one guitar, and the other guitar player is using his Tom Edison and his acoustic guitar, which incidentally belongs to Eric. So when Eric's not playing, he takes over the acoustic guitar, and so they work out fine. So both of us just have to carry one guitar, and Eric has his acoustic guitar, which is handled by his manager. So no problem. So for us, when we tour, especially in China, like I guess in States it's the same thing, where you need to go to a obscure place. You need to have like transit, flight transit and stuff like that, and you don't want to be lugging along a whole lot of luggages, And fortunately, a lot of flights have interconnected system where, especially if you take the same airline, where your luggage you just go through and transit without you taking luggage again. I was just checking out because I was supposed to do a gig in Maryland, and well, it's not confirmed yet. So I was checking the flight details, and it's horrible. I have to like fly to San Francisco, and from there I have to like take off all my luggage and then check in again to United Airlines, all between a period of 1.5 hours, which I seriously doubt that I can make it. I have to go through immigration and all that stupid stuff, and I don't think I can make it within an hour and a half. So that is really not good, So if you have a luggage, and if you don't pack a lot, you can actually bring it out on board, and it's easy for you. For me, right now, currently in China, it's simple because as I said in the previous stream, this is part 3 anyway, before I was rudely cut off, is that my guitar and my Helix are with the company that is providing the basic stuff, like the sound system, the wireless and everything. So they travel with my guitar to each and every venue, so it's a burden off me. So all I need to do is to bring my luggage, and that's what I do. So even if it's a transit or anything like that, it's easier for me, and it's not so hard. So that's what I do. You love my Paletti? Oh, thank you. You have a Tom Edison? Wow, nice. Oh, I love the Cobra. The Cobra is really a good guitar. The fact is, I actually had in mind the Cobra when I wanted my signature Xu guitar, which is this. So this is Leah. So this was the first Xu signature guitar that I got from them, and it's a lovely guitar. I didn't want to bring this on the road, so I had him make me another one, which is road worthy. It's called Grenville. It's the red one, the one in red, So I love this guitar because I actually had in mind the Cobra. I asked Ray from Xu Guitar to make me one, but it's not exactly like a Cobra, but it has a 25 inch scale length, which I really love, which makes life a whole lot easier, especially when you're playing on stage. And the pickup configurations are like what I wanted. I might take this on the road. I don't know. I just might take this on the road, but we'll see. Yeah. Do I ever use amps on stage? Yes, I do. Well, back in the day, it's not nowadays. Nowadays, I just strictly the Helix and nothing else. Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, I think so too. Shall we plug in and play a little bit? So it's got, some of you guys might just missed it because this is like, there's a video for this anyway, and it has a 5-piece neck. If I'm not mistaken, I have Melissan redwood in the middle. I have maple with strips, and then I forgot what's this. This is like Wenge for the outer layers. These are Wenge, Melissan redwood, and then you have strips of the maple, right, all the way through. And then you have Melissan blackwood for the fretboard, chestnut, locking tuners from Goto in gold, hardware in gold, and this is what you call this? This is Melissan redwood or so. Melissan What you call this? I forgot this. I forgot what you call this. Wait. I have a spec sheet here somewhere. I think. Where is it? Hey! No. Oh, okay. It's probably here. Let me just check. Yep, got it. Alright, so this is Malaysian red cedar. Alright, so this Malaysian red cedar. So some of these guys was like complimenting on it and saying they look like bacon, which is one of my favorite foods. Uh, and then yeah, Wenge and Rengas, which is the Malaysian redwood, right? And so finish is satin. The body actually is Malaysian ash. So interesting combination. Malaysian ash body, like almost like it's ash. Basically, it's not swamp ash, but just ash. And then Malaysian redwood for the top. Mm-hmm. And customized pickups, right? I need to do some configuration or some changes with this guitar before I actually bring it on tour. Magnetic covers here, so it's all shielded very well, for electronics. These are the Magnum Goto tremolo system, which is like a grade higher than the normal 510s. And then I have volume tone. There's a split call for the last humbucker, and then I have a mid boost over here, so I could make this really sound like a monster if I want to. That's my pick. Seem to be missing my pick. Oh, there it is. Let's see, where is this in tune? I haven't played this guitar for a long time. See, it stays in tune, right? Really well. How much of a win? I need to change the pickup. Noisy. I need to change the which I have the parts, but the pickup selector gizmo. What you call it? I have the parts somewhere here. Ray actually passed it to me, so I need to get it changed. So this is a humbucker. The neck humbucker is like an interesting humbucker. It's not a full-blown humbucker in many ways, so it's more. I want it to sound just a little bit thicker than a P90. So I think he did it with. So this is my neck pickup. Hi, Lawrence. I'm so used to the 25-inch scale length now that I don't know. I might be spoiled. No, I have contact cleaners and all that. It's not. It's not that. It's this is yeah, something else. This might be one of a lemon. Yeah, it's a lemon actually. So I need to get it changed. I don't have that problem with the other guitar, the Grenville, the red one. So it's just this. It's very loud. This is like 2 a.m. in the morning. So the mid boost is really interesting. This has the same. This is the same with my Grenville, the red one I'm currently using on the tour. So you can go from like this without the boost. This is with the boost. So this is my first signature guitar, which I am probably going to take on tour. I don't know when, but I have to get it all fixed first before I even attempt to do it. Nice, it's a nice guitar. And guitars with preamps, like mid boost, like the EMGs, you always have to remember to plug this out when you're not playing, especially in the live situation. Whenever I do sound check, I always remember to I will have to remember to plug out my guitar, because you don't want a guitar preamp battery to go flat when you start your show. So that would be really bad. So far, I haven't encountered any occasion where my guitar preamp battery is totally flat on any show, so it's not that bad. Humid, yeah. You think a Fender M, Darren? True, a Celestion is a great rock tone with a prettier push, of course. Yeah, whatever works, man. I'm not sure about this. Is this a Celestion? I forgot. This is the version 2. I had a spec somewhere, but I don't really remember what is or what is in the amp speakers, and as long as it sounds good. This speakers sound really good. Yeah. Hi, Caleb. Caleb is my godson, so he's based in China. I'll fancy him popping in. 你还没睡啊? Okay, I'm speaking Chinese right now. All right. 还不睡？这么晚了还不睡？ Lawrence, my favorite M is still a Roland Jazz Chorus, which was my favorite M for the longest time when I was playing in the clubs. Even on some of the concerts that I did in the earlier days, like when I first did the first concert for Ame back in '98, I was using a Jazz Chorus, and then right after that, the second tour, I switched to Marshall amps, two Marshall GMP 800, and then after that, I guess on the third tour I changed from amps to multi effects, and then subsequently I never went back. Over the abuse of chorus in my earlier, I only like delay with modulation mixed in. Nice. I used to experiment with modulations together with delays, especially with the Helix native. I am given the option to do that because there's a whole lot of delays to choose from, and some of the delays have modulation at the tail end. But I always find that it's a bit lacking. Like I could like the sound I actually look for. If I want that sort of effect, then this would be. Oh, I plugged it off. I took it off. Like this would be, say, a overdrive sound, for example. Oh, it's gonna be loud. So this is with just a plain delay, right? Right, just plain delay. And if I were to have like a chorus in it, I would just put a chorus right before the delay. And I'm given the choice to choose which chorus I want. So I could have it more subtle-like by just bringing down that effect volume and different type of choruses, so I have more options. But with the Helix delays with chorus, you more or less are given very narrow choices of chorus to use. So that's the reason why I don't use them. And these days, I don't actually use choruses. If I want that effect, I would rather have pitch shift, very subtle chorusy like, but not really a full blown chorus like this. This works in certain songs. But yeah, you have to like kind of like decide in your head what you want to hear, and once you decide what you want to hear, then pursue it. Go for it. And once you get there, you can still have the option to decide whether does that work for the song, because a lot of sound that we picture or hear in our head may not be suitable for the songs that we are playing. So yeah, something to think about. Just finished work. Wow, 2点多刚 I will call you, okay, Caleb. 我会打给你。Maybe 明天我会打给你。You're thinking of getting the Boss ME90. Yeah, go ahead. Whatever works for you. There's so many multi effects right now. We are actually spoiled for choice as to what to get. Yeah. Oh, it's 42 minutes now. Good Lord. Okay, I'm gonna hang around for a while more and I'm off. I've been online for almost 2 hours because of the horrible internet connection. This is my part 3. Also, I was supposed to have live stream on Sunday, but we're just too tired out. It was a long flight for me. No, not yet. No. I normally don't do reviews of delays and reverb pedals. Why? Because they don't sound good in mono. Unless I go old school and just mic this up, which is okay. But if I want to do a stereo review, because some of the delays and chorus effects, they actually come in stereo, and it's kind of hard to do this with the configuration with a mono amp. So I have to put this like post, like after the amp, which I don't know, it just doesn't sound half as good as it is in conjunction with the effects loop at the back of the amp. Yeah, so for me, my dilemma is, if I use an amp, it has to be in mono. You know what I mean? It has to be mono. And if I were to use a stereo setup, then it has to be stereo amp, 2 amps, and then I have to kind of configure the effects in such a way where every output of the stereo effects goes into left and right of each amp of in separate amps, and then you mic it out, which is a whole lot of work. So why I do these days is because I love the Helix, because the Helix allowed me. Hey Roland, how are you? You don't want the weather that we have. It's raining every day. Yeah, so as I was saying, so to mic it out and all that, just a whole lot of trouble. With my Helix, I'm able to get a bi-amp setup going with no noise, nothing, no inconveniences of miking out. Yeah, it's not the real thing, but it works for me in my setup when I'm doing shows. And we obviously we don't have a lot of space for amplifiers and floor monitors that we used to have back in the days. There is enough space, but it. Let me just just to try to explain it in such a way where the concert scene, especially the setup and everything, has evolved in China, right? So in where we are from, like in Southeast Asia, not in the States, because I believe there are a whole lot of shows going on in the States which is just old school. We're talking about like the old school bands, the rock and roll bands, Johnny Depp and who's that guy? Jeff Beck, and I've heard about the setup. Typical old school. They have floor monitors, amps, and everything. But then there's the Taylor Swift kind of thing, the Bruno Mars kind of thing, where they don't use amps anymore. They just like everything is like multi effects, in-ear monitors. So this is how it's evolved. The concert setup has evolved through the years. And in China right now, it come to the point where everybody wants it to be like easy to set up. Like when I go for sound check, I didn't have to carry my guitar, like I said, because my guitars and my Helix are all being handled by the company that does the instrument setup. So when I go out on stage for sound check, my Helix is all set up, my guitar is hanging there. All I need to do is to hook up my wireless system, my in-ear monitors, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Back in the days, I have to I head down to the venue like an hour or so, or maybe earlier than that, and plug in my amps, check my effects, whether there's any noise or anything like that, whether the amp is in working condition, because some amps get damaged transit, some of the tubes might get loose, so you have to check all this. And then after mic, the engineer will come, the FOH guy will come and mic the amp and see which mic is the best, and to make sure that it doesn't move. And then he will tell me, don't play too loud because you're gonna get picked up by your backup vocalist mic, you get picked up by the drum, you get picked up by my own vocal mics, you get picked up by the main vocal mic. So there's a whole lot of constriction and a whole lot of inconveniences. That was back in the days, but we love it because rock and roll, right? You want to feel the amp behind your ass. And that's what we do. And then I have like 2 monitors right in front of me, so I can hear the whole band, including my guitars. And that was how it was back then. These days, all I have is my in-ear monitors. I don't even have floor monitors anymore. Do I? Let me see. No, I don't. I don't anymore, right? So, yeah, I just noticed it took off my floor monitors. How dare they? Anyway, no more floor monitors. All I'm having is my in-ear monitors, and that's it. So I have my Avion, my M360 or whatever I have there, and my in-ear monitors, and this how I have to mix. I have to do the mix myself. How much I want to hear my guitars, how much I want to hear the rest of the band, and that's it. So it's easy. I just come in, my Helix is all set up, plugged in, signal, test, okay, and we're ready to do our sound check. And our sound check don't last more than 2 hours. Yeah, tops. 2 hours, including the drum setup. So we have done like 8 shows right now. So we have more or less have gotten the momentum of it, and it's all the same guys doing the monitor, same guys doing the FOH. So they have recorded our previous shows, so they can kind of do the sound in FOH in the main house way before we ever step on stage, because they have the recordings of the last show and individual recordings, so they can actually do the sound check back then, way before we arrive. And then right after that we have our signal, and that's it. So, hey Dennis, yes, the internet has a hold on it. I've been trying to get this live stream going for the 3rd time right now, and it's like really stupid. Yeah, I was about to give up and go to sleep. Hey, it's good that you turned out. I miss you, brother. How are you doing? How are you doing, Dennis? Roland. John says good enough. It sure is. No. The long conversation with the soundman is the best. No, I don't. I've through the years I worked with some of the best FOH engineers, because I was an engineer myself, right, in the studio. So I totally understand. But there are some incompetent ones that I met earlier on, and but recently, through the last 2 decades, all the engineers, whether they're on the monitor side or the front house, they are all professional. Yeah, they're good. They're good. You know, they're all very professional. They know what they're doing. They know their stuff. And I think that above all, the most important thing is that they are nice. I met engineers that are not nice, you know, and these are the guys that you have to be nasty with because you don't let anyone dictate what you are playing on stage. That's I don't mean it in an arrogant way, like musicians have the right, but we are musicians. We must be allowed to perform in a manner that is comfortable for us. Or else, why do you pay me for? Why do you pay me so much money to perform on stage? So there were times when I head up to stage. That was way back like 20 years ago, when I head on stage and there'll be this big lighting system right beside me, a lighting system and lighting systems like this will cause hum, definitely, right? And I would refuse to play until they remove the park can. So I was an ass back then, but I think I was a righteous ass. Yeah, I was a righteous pain in the ass because I refused to play. If I have hum on my guitar, how do you expect me to play to the best of my ability? So unless you shift that stupid light away from me and make sure my signal chain is clean, then I refuse to play. And a lot of players don't do that, don't do the things that I do, and they suffer the whole show, and they don't play to their best ability. And I was fortunate enough that I commanded a little respect among the stage manager and the producers for them to kind of, okay, let's shift the light because Jonathan says he cannot play without lights, and they would do it. And I asked in a nice way, but if they are like being difficult about it, then I have to put my foot down. Most of the time I would not try to not to play. I would say like, hey, can you move the lights away because it's creating this noise net around me and I'm getting buzz all over. And most of the time they say, oh, okay, all right, we'll move it. Most of the time. Sometimes you meet up with producers that are a bit power hungry, and that's where I put my foot down. I say, you want to be power hungry? Fine, I'm not playing the show. You can sue me, but I'm not playing the show. So that's where I am. The EMGs will help beat the hum in many cases, but sometimes no. And these days I don't use EMG pickups anymore, so all my pickups are all passive in a way. So they do pick up 60 cycle hum, but it's controllable these days. These days, the lighting engineers, they know what the heck they're doing. So this tour that I'm in, they know that stay the heck away from the guitar players and the bassists, because they're gonna complain when you put a park can or a lighting source next to them. So these days is way easier. I saw your last video, Dennis. It was really fun. Yeah, keep it up. Sure, hope you're okay. You're okay. I wanted to message you, but I was in China, so it was kind of hard for me to go through the internet sometimes. So, yeah. And I had the worst flu of all things. I had the worst flu right before the show. Right, I came back, and then I had like 10 days before I went for my last show, and I had the flu. Why? Because the plane that I was on, from Suzhou, if I'm not mistaken, it didn't have air conditioning. It was like no air conditioning at all. I think I spoke about this in the last video. And when I came back, I had the flu. Really bad flu. Really, really bad. I lost my sense of smell. No, it's not COVID. I tested twice for it. There's no COVID. I just lost my sense of smell. And it was so depressing. But I still managed to do 3 reviews. And I thought, that's it. And then I had a relapse. The flu got worse. And right before I flew, I thought, oh man, this gig is going to be so screwed up because I can't hear properly. And when I landed on my last gig, when I landed in the airport, I was out of phase. My hearing was out of phase. I was like either hearing extreme left and right, or I'm hearing everything right in the center. So it was like really confusing for me. The good thing was I had to walk a bit to the immigration, so it was a long walk. It was about 700 meters, or maybe near close to a km, because the airport was really big. So as I was walking, my hearing kind of cleared up, and it was fine when I passed through the immigration. And then I checked into the hotel, slept, tried to sleep, but couldn't sleep well. But in the end, I did manage to get some sleep. And it was raining every day, so it was good. I just stayed in my hotel, which is a really nice hotel. I soaked in the bathtub for a long period of time, trying to create perspiration if I can. It didn't work. And I think on the second night, right before the show, I did perspire in a bed, and it was good. After that, I recovered. I was actually better. I did the show, which was a great show. I love it. I thought I would be all tired out, but it was okay. I was enjoying it, and I was okay when I came back. Finally, I can smell. It's good and bad, but at least I can smell the stuff that I need to smell, like good food, delicious, food, and yeah. So this is. Oh, I missed you too, Dennis. I miss you. I miss you, brother. Yeah, I miss talking to you. You should get a Facebook account, Dennis. You really should, so that I can communicate you and check on you from time to time, brother. No, it's not the Suzhou. It's not the Suzhou cold. Suzhou wasn't that cold. It was hot. The Chinese have different destination for flu. They have the cold flu or the hot flu. So apparently I had the hot flu, right? So which is like I was being cooped up in a dry and very hot condition, and then when I get exposed to air conditioning, like when I arrived in Changi Airport, it was cold, and that's probably where I got the flu from. And then there's a cold flu, which is like really bad, like you have an infection of some sort, and you are from a cold part of town, and you caught a chill when the cold wind blew, or something like that, or you got caught in the rain. And those are the wet or the cold flu. So the Chinese have different destination for. So apparently I had to drive the sort of the hot flu, 热感冒, we call it 热感冒, which is hot flu, which sometimes can be worse than the wet flu, I guess. Yeah, so I was saying, Dennis, get a Facebook account, hit me up, I'll add you as a personal friend, and then we keep in touch. So time to time I'll check on you. Yeah, can you do that? What? Roland? What? Epsom salts? Really? Well, I gotta buy those. So what happens in China is that there's no, except for the last one, they have bath foam, which is good. Most of the time they don't have salts, and sometimes you have bath salts and all that in the higher end hotels. So the hotels that we stay in are not bad. They're pretty good, like four stars. Sometimes we hit 5 star, but most of them, they don't believe in salts. They probably bring their own. I don't know. Excuse me. Whew. So let me ask you guys, have you watched the videos of the Novo guitars from Nashville? What do you think about them? I was just at Clement's place this afternoon to pick up this guitar, this Nick Huber. And I saw the Novo guitars on the wall, and I'm looking at them and going like, dude, if I had the money, I'll buy it. They look so pretty hanging on the wall, and they do sound good. They have a certain feel to them. I really enjoy myself playing on them. So they have the Sirius and the Midris. What do you think? Oh, all right. Well, do the account and put on some different name. Yeah, and you can actually block your wife's sister if you want to. There is a way to do that. I'll teach you how to do it. Yeah, if you need to do it. But yeah, get the account so I can keep in touch with you. You are precious to me, Dennis. Right? So don't you ever forget that. Yeah, I would love to keep in touch with you. So you want to see this? This is like I was on stage and I went up to the keyboard player's podium. She's a sweet girl. Her name is Kim, and she plays really well. And she can sing and she plays the violin. So talented, and such a sweet little girl. And yeah, and I normally don't do that. I don't. Well, I did it with the other keyboard player. So went out on podium with him. So this time, this last show, I actually did that. And it was nice. Yeah, it was a good show. You know, we all had fun. And what else do I do? Yeah, fool around on stage. Yeah. So I did the orange dance, if you guys know what I mean. And this is a band. Yeah. So it finally felt like we were in a band, finally, like, you know, like in a band. Because after 8 shows, you better feel like you're in a band. If not, something is really wrong. So, yeah, we're starting to gel together as a band. The band is tighter than it's ever been. And I think by the time we hit our 10th show, we'll be like as tight as anything else. So it's cool. Never heard of Novo Guitars. Novo Guitars are from Nashville, and they are really well made. I just kind of like the way it is. It just looks good. With P90s apparently, so they have certain versions with the humbuckers, but Clement was right. He spoke to me today about the Novo guitars. He felt that the P90s have a certain mojo to it, which I agree. The P90s are really good sounding pickups, the ones that on the Novo guitars. The only drawback is probably the 60 cycle hum if you were to like drive it. But I felt it was a really nice guitar, a guitar that you might want to own, but it's expensive. You know, it's not cheap. So unless I get inheritance from one of my auntie, yeah. What? It was her that the mosquito attacked that you killed it? No! We don't have roommates on this tour at all. I haven't had roommates for the longest time. I don't share rooms when I tour. Yeah, I have my own single room. And this time around, every one of us have our own single room. So, yeah, we don't have roommates. And I wouldn't do that to her. She's so sweet. I wouldn't do that to her. How is it like in where are you at? Are you Ronan? Are you at London or where are you from? How's the weather there actually? I'm kind of curious. I was planning to go on a trip to London with my godson Caleb. I know where is he still here. Caleb, are you still here? We were supposed to go up to London together with him sometime at the end of the year. But how's the weather right now? It should be quite nice unless it's raining every day. Yes, I did. Dennis, I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you took up the offer. But you know what? You need to get one of these, if you can. Well, I know it's an investment, but I think you should get one of these instead of another guitar. And this will make your whole video sound better and look better. Because okay, I'm going to tell you right now what this entails. And this whole package, this is like a creator package. This is the DJI Osmos 3 Pocket or Osmos Pocket 3. So it has basically it comes in like this. This is the basic setup, just like this, and you can actually hand hold this and shoot whatever footage you want around the house or around your ranch or whatever you want to do. But you can also have the extended battery, which you can just hook on right here. It just clicks into place, and then you can have the tripod system set up in an area where you can see what you're shooting, and you can shoot like what you call this, horizontal or vertical. So it depends on, and it shoots in 4K, so it's really good. And apart from it, it comes with a remote microphone, so you can hook up your microphone in your t-shirt or your shirt or whatever, and everybody can hear what you're talking about, instead of like having right now you have to place your camera in such a way where we are able to hear what you're talking about. So what you need to say is so important to us, Dennis, because you have so much stories to share if you want to, and we need to hear dialogue really clearly. So that this just comes in with a clip-on mic, which syncs together with the camera. And right after that, there is a SD card where you can just take out your SD card and edit it if you want to. If you need to edit anything, just post it online and upload it to YouTube, and you're done. Simple, right? So I was just thinking about that for you, and it also comes in with a wide angle lens, and you need to shoot like a little bit more where you are at, if you need to widen up, your camera view. Or if not, the original stock camera lens is good enough. Right? Yeah, which part of UK, Ronan? Which part of UK are you at? You're here. Oh, hi, John. Yeah, I just texted you in Facebook. Yes, question. So you need to ask me some question. It's wet and cold, colder and wetter than normal. Oh, wow. What's the temperature like? Yeah, you were asking me about Trident. So, what was your question again? Okay, I'm gonna read your question here. So you're recording on with the Nuix Solid Studio, last in my chain, but I found some pedals seems to add a lot of noise when recording, which I find annoying. Okay, so I was wondering, I would buy the Trident. Buying the Trident, I will reduce recording noise that I'm getting with the pedal chain. I travel a lot on business and set up my hotel room like a studio. Good for you. I'm using a Tascam Model 12 and also have the Model 24 for bigger home projects. Alright, so the Trident, alright, so if you buy the Trident, there is actually no need for any more pedals. Basically the Trident has everything that you need. But the good thing about the Trident is it has a effects loop, so you can still hook up a couple of pedals that you want, that you need, that you can't live without. But basically the Trident is self-sufficient. It's a variation of most of the models that have been coming out lately from Blackstar. Blackstar has 3 of these different configurations, so they're basically amps in a box. But not like the UA FX Lion or the other models that the UA FX have. So basically, you still need a power amp to drive the sound through speakers if you want to use that. The one from Blackstar, I don't think you need that because they have actually they have a power amplifier built in. Not big, but it's sufficient enough. So if you're going to use it like for recording with a interface, with an audio interface, then Trident will work fine, and it's inexpensive. It's not as expensive as the Blackstar ones. And I've tried it, I liked it. And you can actually do a lot of stuff with it if you want to. Yeah. 20 degrees. Wow, that's nice. It's lovely, actually. 20 degrees in the daytime. My good lord. We are like hitting like 35 sometimes in Singapore, and in China where sometimes you hit like the last place I went was not too bad. It was raining every day, so it's like 24, 24, 25 because of the rain. At night it goes down to about 20. Yeah. But I'm heading up to another place later on Thursday, so it might get a little bit hotter. But this is the rainy season right now in China, and there are a lot of flight delays happening all over the place. So I have to be mentally prepared that my flight will be delayed. I have to be mentally prepared that I might stay overnight in the airport hotel. So, well, that's the life of a touring musician, I guess. Yeah, so great. So if you're just using it for recording, then the Trident will work fine by itself because it has compressors. If I'm not mistaken, maybe not a compressor. Probably there is. I forgot. Quite a while ago. It has a booster. Remember, it has delays and reverbs and choruses. If I'm not mistaken. So if you do need different kind of choruses or stuff, you can actually hook it up on the effects center return. Yeah, you have 4 Nash guitars. Good lord, I'm envious. As soon as you get your animal pictures off your phone, I'll use it for videos with remote mic. You want to use your phone? No, this is not with the phone. This is like you need to have a computer set up. Once you get it out of the SD card, you can do editing if you want. If you need to edit any part out, and then from the computer laptop or your computer itself, you can just upload. How do you upload your videos these days? Directly from the handphone? Well, I tell you what, get onto Facebook and I'll give you a call, right? And we can talk, and you can kind of explain to me what you're doing right now, and I can kind of maybe give some suggestion to you to improve your experience in YouTube land. Right? All right, brother. Yeah. Oh, I've been around for 1 hour plus for this part. So I've been live for almost 3 hours. So I have like 20 minutes more and I'm off. So any more questions, you better ask them now. In the meantime, let me show you some pictures. So this is a venue that we played last show. It was too bright, I think. It was too bright for you. Yeah, maybe it's too bright. Yeah, let me adjust this. This is like ultimate brightness, I guess. Alright, so this will adjust accordingly. No, it's the same thing. Yeah, you can't tell. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, so that's my Helix on stage. Alright. And then yeah. So I like what we're doing right now because I'm not reading anything from the iPad, no charts, nothing. I'm just playing it without charts. So it's so liberating. And we used to do that. I used to do that when I was young, like when we were playing clubs and we didn't read no charts. Everything was right up here. We'd be playing like 50 songs, so it's very liberating for me to do that again at this age, and not read the charts and just do what I need to do and just do music, having the time of my life on stage every night, Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can still do this If I'm not mistaken, you can actually do this in conjunction with your iPhone, and then use this as a webcam if you need to. There is a function for it, so you can have it remote with Wi-Fi, of course, and then you can use this as a webcam, and you can see whatever you're shooting on your iPhone, and from there you can decide to either save that video and then upload it to YouTube if you want to. But like I said, the most important thing about this is the remote microphone. I think that's it's a really important gear to have, because that remote microphone connects to this camera, and it works like a dream. I tested it. It's a really good mic. One of the best mic ever for close-up miking. So something to consider. Yeah, I'm supposed to do a gig in Toronto, but what's that place called? Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it didn't pan out, so we're not going after all. And there are a whole lot of talks about this, but apparently they are not spending money like they used to back in a couple of years ago. So they don't want to spend money bringing in musicians from outside, and that's probably one of the reasons why. Right? Because you have the airfare, you have the hotel. My hotel is not a big problem because we're staying in the casino itself, but the airfare itself. So for the Canada trips, they just have to worry about airfares. For the state side, they even have more to worry about. They have the working visas like the O1 and O2, and they cost a lot per person, per musician. So for us to go up there, if they are able to secure like 2 or 3 gigs per trip, then it makes it all worthwhile. But if we're just going up for a single concert, then it's not really worth it, because you have to pay a whole lot for the O1 and O2 permit, as well as our salary and the airfare. Right? So, no, the remote pickup doesn't pick up a whole band. You need like microphones with bigger diaphragms for that. So I guess a pair of SM57 would do if you need it, or you want to get some nice tube mics from Thomann, really cheap ones, like the ones that I always use for my acoustic guitar recording, or even for my mic setup. That would be pretty good. If you have a stereo pair of this, mic the whole band up, it might work. Okay. You don't need multiple cameras. Yeah. What you need to do is to simplify the whole process, Dennis, so that it's easier for you to do what you want to do, to say what you want to say, and to do your content in a very convenient way. Don't have too many microphones, or too many. I know you have microphones aplenty where you are from, or cameras. You just need a good camera, where you are supposed to be at, and I think the most important thing is the dialogue. The people need to hear what you're talking about. Yeah. Where do I live? I live in Singapore. Yep. So I'm from Singapore, and I reside in Singapore, but I do tours overseas. Never in Singapore. I don't do shows in Singapore unless there's a continuation of the tour that I'm in, which happens to be in Singapore, or Malaysia for all that matter. But I'm basically based in Singapore, but most of my concerts and the live gigs that I do are all mostly overseas. And I'm hoping to, right, Ronan, I'm sure you'll be glad to hear, but we're hoping to have a show in London if possible. Yeah. But, for now, just speculation, so I'm not too sure about what's going to happen or what's not going to happen anyway. You're from singing poor. So remember what I told you? get your get your Facebook account up and running. Yeah, hook up to me. Search for me, Jonathan Cole. I'm gonna type my name again. Right. For the rest of you guys, you can join my other Facebook account, which is John is just too loud. This works for both my other Facebook account as well as my Instagram account. Right. Oh, thank you, John. No worries. It's been my pleasure. It's always good to hook up with guitar players around the world. Yeah, and yeah, maybe it's hard to believe, but I don't have much friends over here. Yeah, I mostly keep to myself. I'm an introvert in many ways, so in contrary to what you think, right? The stuff that I do on stage and everything, but I'm basically a very introverted guy. Uh, and the YouTube channel these years have been really good to me, not in terms of financial returns. I don't get a whole lot of financial returns from this channel at all. I get more joy and satisfaction from communicating with you guys, whether it's on live stream or whether it's offline, and playing the guitar basically, and getting the opportunity to test new gears, uh, new guitars. So that's been a blessing for me all these years. So yeah, I don't worry about it, John. Yeah, Nuix is a good company. Um, why I think it's a good company, because the people actually listen to the customers, and to guys like us when we review their stuff. We'll feedback to them, and they welcome our feedback. And they do like little subtle changes, and a lot of stuff that they do actually work on stage, because um, for the acoustic guitars in the show that we're doing, we are all using the Stageman, the Nuix Stageman, and it worked beautifully. And they're coming out with a version 2 shortly, which they're going to implement some of the stuff that I told them to do, like the inclusion of a compressor for acoustic guitar, which is so important, but not too fierce a compressor, but a very subtle and gentle compressor for acoustic guitar. And to get rid of the looper, which you don't need. You can always, most guys who are really really serious about loopers, they'll buy an individual looper, like this looper, the loop core for Nuix, and they don't want everything to be I for me don't like too many stuff in the pedal, because it gets really confusing. And yeah, hopefully they'll come out with version 2 of this, which I think is going to even be better than the first one. The first one, the Stageman, is very good enough, because they have a very good preamp system for acoustic guitars, and they have choruses, they have reverb built in, which is really fine, if you need those. But the looper, you don't need a looper at all. Alright, how long do I have? I have like 10 minutes more. Wow, mighty plug. That's a nice one, yeah? Yeah. But for me, I just couldn't use it, because if I were to play, I'll play for a long time, um, at least an hour or so, and it's gonna get really uncomfortable in my ears after that. So I rather have my amp when I'm practicing or when I'm just noodling around. And I have great neighbors who don't complain about the sound they're hearing, so it's okay. You have a Zoom system that you can run multiple mics and cameras through, and it's portable that will allow me to get better shots, guys. I have trouble moving a single cam. Okay. Well, whatever works for you, Dennis. You don't have to change to what I recommended. You just have to find a system that works for you in the most convenient way. But like I said, the emphasis is on your dialogue. Your speech. So that's the most important. Okay. Oh, sorry. $6,800 kps. Okay, I gotta change that soon. Where did Mike go? Mike, are you hanging around somewhere, or have you not joined up? Alright, so there's no question. I'm gonna call it night. I'm going to bed. You guys take care. Dennis, remember to hit me up when you're in Facebook. Ronan, you have a good day in England. And thank you, Lawrence, for joining us. John, if you're still here, have a great day ahead in Canada. Alright, and for the rest of you guys, good night. I'll see you when I see you. I was thinking of having a live stream on Saturday, right after the show. But every time I plan to do that, I go like, do I have enough bandwidth to go about doing that? So most of the time, I just kind of like not do it because it'll take up a whole lot of bandwidth. And the other reason is because right after the show, I'll be so dead tired. Yeah, so I put off the idea for the longest time. So I'll probably do a live stream when I'm in Taiwan. 2 weeks from now, I guess. And that's where I can actually utilize the Wi-Fi of my friend, and I can actually probably do a real nice live stream. Then we'll see what happens. All right. You're fine with the Tascam Model 112, 12. I was able to keep making music without having to use a computer. It got me through COVID. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever works, man. Whatever works, John. So as long as you guys are engaging in activities that keep you sane, that works. Whatever it is. Yeah. Thank you so much. Nowadays you can actually do everything if you want. Music making on an iPad. You can use GarageBand. There's also I'm not mistaken, they have Logic Pro right now for iPad. So you can create music anywhere you want to. What happened? I'm so worried about my air conditioning here. So it's not leaking. It's fine. Yeah. It's kind of went dead. Anyway, see you guys. So take care of yourself, and God bless you. Right, wherever you are, may God watch over you and your family. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay? Alright. Ciao. I'm going to blank out the screen. I haven't done a setup on my Streamlab yet because everything just went bonkers on me one day. So I haven't set it up yet to a different scene. So I'm going to blank out the screen, so don't get alarmed. Alright? Bye.